what we are currently seeing with the Chicago Blackhawks has never been seen before. The Blackhawks now have 9 players on the IR, with adding Connor Bedard and Nick Foligno today due to the injuries last night against the New Jersey Devils. We got some updates today that just came out right now, so make sure to stick around and find out. We're going to be talking about this, as well as a trade that just went down to add to the injured forwards core. The Blackhawks are going to have to do a lot more, and we're going to be discussing that as well in this video. But before we get into all of that, we noticed that 83% of you guys watching right now are not subscribed to the channel. So if you're looking for a spot to get all your Blackhawks news and join us on the road to Macklin Celebrini, you're in the right spot. Make sure to stay a while, sub to the channel, till you don't miss out on any of the Blackhawks news. But we got to discuss this whole injury circumstance with the Chicago Blackhawks. This is getting ridiculous. I know a lot of it's unlucky. Is nothing you can do about it. But 9 players now on the IR, 9 starting players for the Chicago Blackhawks on the IR is just absolutely ridiculous. That is 3 full lines. 3 full lines. And the Blackhawks can't afford to lose anybody. They are a horrible team. Let's be honest now for a second. Let's just take a moment here, relax, and admit it. The Blackhawks are a horrible team. And losing Connor Bedard, the face of the team, Nick Foligno, the unnamed captain of the team, and Seth Jones, the longest tenured player probably there for now, this is getting ridiculous. But Noah, I'm going to ask you right now. I know obviously all these injuries are absolutely terrible. But Connor Bedard is the big one we're going to be talking about here.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think about the injury? He's out 4 to 6 weeks with a broken jaw, as you can see here from Ben Pope. Says with a fractured jaw. Nick Foligno with a fractured finger. But let's say this. That was a clean hit. It was not a dirty hit. It was just a very unlucky that Bedard was leaning forward. There's nothing he could have done about it. It was just a very unlucky circumstance. But what do you think about this injury? And what do you think about him missing 4 to 6 weeks?
It sucks. I mean, plain and simple. No beating around the bush there. I mean, he's the heartbeat of the team. He's the all-star selection of the team. He plays hard night in, night out. And when you lose a guy like that, it sucks. But also going back to like the whole injury thing you've been saying, how there's 9 players. Some people might argue, oh, the tank. We've been getting a lot of comments saying they're for against the tank, getting Macklin Celebrini. But when you have guys injured night in and night out, it sucks, for your culture. And, when it sucks having all these guys are buddies and, all these guys get to know each other. And when you're not playing with those guys every night, it sucks.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. That's what I mean. That's another part of why they're as bad as they are. They don't have enough time to play with the partners they can over the whole season. There's been too many injuries that people have been in and out of the lineup. There's been a bunch of different lines here and there, and you just can't get familiar with who you're going to be playing with. But I'm just baffled about this whole situation. I can't even remember if I pulled this screenshot up, but here, this is the Charlie Roumeliotis one again. The fractured jaw, the fractured left finger, and 9 players on IR with these players. Let's take a moment here and look at these players as well. Seth Jones, Taylor Hall, Tyler Johnson, Andreas Athanasiou, Anthony Beauvillier, Joey Anderson, Taylor Raddysh, and now Nick Foligno and Connor Bedard. I don't know what we're witnessing. I don't know if anybody's ever had this many injuries on an NHL team at these caliber of players. That's a team where they could be solid together. If every single one of those players played, that would be a competitive team. And we haven't seen any of them played pretty much all together at any point this season. Yeah. The Blackhawks made a move to fill this in, knowing that this was going to happen. Just came out a few minutes ago, like I said. Rem Pitlick got him for a 7th-round pick from Pittsburgh. Now, we've seen Rem Pitlick. He has a potential. He's in the AHL right now, but he has potential to be very, very good. We've seen it with the Minnesota Wild, and he got called up last season, then eventually traded to Montreal. When he was on Minnesota, he was fantastic. He was really, really good. Declined a bit when he went to Montreal, and it's just been horrible on Pittsburgh. But it's another opportunity for him to prove himself. But no, what? Obviously, Rem Pitlick is a crucial addition. And I mentioned yesterday in our last video that Morgan Frost is another option the Flyers are looking at. But what do you think they need to do? Do you think they'll be calling up AHL players? Do you think they're going to be going on the trade market again for similar players like Rem Pitlick, where they can just throw out some later picks that they don't really need to get some players. What do you think about this whole situation? Yeah. How to get new players?
I don't like them trading their picks, to be completely honest with you. They're trying to build from within and with those draft picks. So, I mean, I guess it's kind of next man up from the AHL, kind of, I guess, is the best way to explain kind of how I'm thinking. Why would you trade a 5th or a 4th round pick for a guy who obviously you're not in a win now situation? You're trying to develop, you're trying to, be the best team you could be. And bringing in young players and letting them develop is the best thing you can do. So why would you trade that away to get 1 year or 2 years or X number of years of a guy who's aging? It doesn't make sense to me. Obviously, a 7th round pick is, on the lower end, obviously, but then compared to a 2nd or a 3rd round pick. But I think they're going to call from within, and I think you're going to see some AHL guys get some more ice time in the NHL.
Yeah. Now, however, one issue with that is they might not have enough contracts in the AHL that are able to come up to the NHL. That's one thing.
Phil Kessel.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Phil Kessel, he wants to play. He's 8 points off 1,000. Give him a chance. At this point, There's nothing to lose. If you put me and Noah out there, we could probably do better than half the people they could bring up from the AHL. Like, it's honestly to a point where they might have to just do an open tryout. As embarrassing as that might seem, you got to do something. Like, I think obviously they're going to be looking at the trade market just for if they can get players like Rem Pitlick for some low picks, 6th or 7th. I don't think they're going to be trading, like you said, Noah, any 3rd, 4th, or 5ths for players at this point in time.
Yeah, no, it's not
unless it's someone maybe like Morgan Frost that could be there for long term. A lot of potential at a very young age and like on an RFA contract when they expire. Something along the lines of that, I think, is the extent of what we'll see if they do make more than one trade. But
Morgan Frost is interesting, though.
He is. He's a very interesting player.
Philly's in a really weird spot, right? Like they're like in a playoff spot, but they got a really, really good young core coming up, like Cutter Gauthier. I mean, we've seen what he did in the World Juniors, lighting it up. They have Bobby Brink as well, who's had a really, really good year. I don't know if the Flyers kind of really want to trade him. It's like they're in that weird spot. So it's like, do you trade your young guys for veterans to help you on a playoff run, or do you keep all your young guys and you go season after season losing but development? So I would love Morgan Frost on the Blackhawks, to be completely honest with you, but I don't know if Philly trades him.
No, he's been on the market lately. He's been up and down. He does not have a spot on that team, so he's been in conversations with many teams. Many teams have been interested in him.
Okay.
However, things need to be done. The Blackhawks don't really have many options at this point. Like I said, they're running out of players. They really are. It's something that you have to be concerned about. I don't really have any words to describe it apart from just being an absolute disaster. Like, the situation where they're in now. Obviously, they're tanking for the number 1 overall pick, but you have to be at least somewhat competitive, and it's unfortunate they won't. They won't be able to with this team, like their injuries. I don't have any their lines up now. They don't have any new ones posted of who's going to be playing where, but we do have a few ideas that some players might need to step up. Like Kevin Korchinski, he's been very good this season. He's going to be even better now. He's going to be getting a lot more ice time, especially in the defensive zone. Lucas Reichel is another name that needs to step up. We need to see him step up. Philip Kurashev, he's been playing well. It's a lot of guys that you don't expect to step up are going to have to take the next step. Maybe, go up to first line, second line minutes when they're used to being on third or fourth line minutes. But there's a lot of issues that need to be fixed right now. But, the Blackhawks, they're in a weird spot. This is the best way to put it. They don't really have many options. They have a lot of stuff to look at, a lot of injuries. 4 to 6 weeks for Connor Bedard is a long, long time. That's a long, long time for your number 1 point scorer by a lot. He's not even close to the second guy, but it's really going to be something they have to think about. There's going to be a lot of things I think we're going to see over the next few days with the Blackhawks, maybe involving some trades. Like I said as well, waiver claims in last video. There's going to be a lot of moves in the coming days, so we're going to have to keep up with that. We're going to have to accept what it is because there's only so many things that the Blackhawks can do. But we don't got any more updates right now, but we will in the coming days, I'm sure. I'm sure we're going to be hearing a lot more about all of this stuff. All the updates. So if you want to get all of that, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We'll be having it all right here as soon as they come out. So make sure to sub to the channel. But, that's all we got for this video. I'm still completely, I don't know. I can't come up with the words.
Find the words.
Yeah, I can't find the words to describe what's going on with the Chicago Blackhawks right now. It sucks is pretty much all I can say. But, we get through it. It's going to happen. Injuries happen, unlucky stuff happens, and it just so happens that we're having a bad year. That's all I can say. But
maybe we'll get to see Fishbowl or Cage Bedard again. So
you never know.
There's something good that comes out of this, maybe.
You never know at this point. I can see anything happening. But that's all we got for this video. If you did enjoy, make sure to give it a like. Make sure to subscribe to the channel as well. Like I said, Blackhawks daily content, daily updates about all of this situation that's going down is going to be right here. So make sure to hit the sub button so you don't miss it. But that's all I got. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.